Okay folks, today we were talking about what goes inside of this cage right here. Yeah, I just thought I would do a quick rundown of what I use for a first AC kit. I myself am not a first AC, however I do keep a full kit on hand for all of the camera assistants that I work with. You know, as well as my first AC kit is also sometimes requested on jobs where I'm only the gaffer. You know, the main reason I keep a full, complete first AC kit is because a lot of the guys that I enjoy working with, they don't all have their own complete kit, so it's just one less thing for all of us to worry about. But I also have a specific monitor that I prefer my guys to use when I am the DP, so we're gonna get into all of that right now. And as a lot of you already know, if you've been subscribed to the channel, you know that I do have one of the best wireless systems available. That's in my opinion. But seriously, one of the guys that I use all the time is my first AC, Jimmy. He works on a very popular broadcast show right here in LA, and he has told me on many occasions that he prefers working with my Vaxis wireless system over what they use over there on their big Hollywood set. So I hope Jimmy doesn't mind me revealing that info, but well, now it's already out. And like I said, even on jobs where I'm not even part of the camera department, I'm thinking specifically back when I was the key grip on the Swiss Beats music video, Please Forgive Me, that was done as a promo for the second season of Godfather of Harlem. So on that particular job, I was able to get Jimmy on as their first AC, as well as my entire wireless receiver and transmitter kit, which was the Vaxis 2-in-1 system that I have, and of course, my entire little mini 1-ton G&E package since I was the key grip. So having lots of options is just another benefit of being a low-key production company. I get my friends onto the jobs that I'm on, as well as the majority of my gear. So as you can imagine, I get asked all the time about the first AC kit that I use, the monitors I use on set, no matter what role I'm fulfilling. I get asked all the time via the Discord, either here on the channel or over on my Instagram. You can find me over there at KidTech, as well as my LLC is on there at Dog Times Productions. Anyways, let's go. The first thing you need when you're building your little first AC station is you need a foundation, right? So one of the things that I most regularly use is this little baby inch, 20-inch C-stand right here. Now, depending on how old school of a crew you're working with, some guys may refer to one of these as a Gary Coleman. However, some people may find that offensive, so I do try my best to refer to this as a baby C-stand. So like I said, even when I'm on jobs where I'm the gaffer, that is something that is requested of me from the camera department, then I don't mind loaning that out. Now, there is some other cooler options as well. So this right here is a Matthews mini combo stand, I guess. This is a dolly stand, so I have 3 of these. But if you're not, using the dolly, this is a solid station too, because what's cool about this one is you can put little wheels onto the bottom of it. And so I have 3 of these. These are made by a company called American Grip, I believe. And yeah, you just pop those onto the bottom of the little baby combo stand. You can wheel it around all day. That works really great for, being in studio or when you're running around on location even, hell. So yeah, those are a couple cool options to use, but for the sake of today's video, we're gonna be using the little baby C-stand. So here is the kit. At the heart of this thing is the 7-inch Blackmagic Design HDR 12G Video Assist. Now, I already know most first ACs much prefer a small HD. However, I have talked about all the reasons why I love this monitor in the past, so I'll have some links down in the description below if you're new here. So you'll notice that I said it's a 7-inch, and you're probably like, wait, what? I thought he had the 5-inch, which I did for a very long time. That got replaced March of last year. So what happened last year, I was doing a job out in Brooklyn, and the mini BNC port on that little 5-inch 12G Video Assist got busted. So that is one of the plus sides of the 7-inch version. It has full-size BNC. It also has mini XLR, more audio options, but also I think a lot of first ACs would much prefer the 7 inches over the 5 inches anyways. However, just to catch everyone up to speed on how awesome this monitor is, it is 2,500 nits of brightness. It's packed full of scopes and features. Blackmagic Design recently did a firmware update on this, so now you can actually calibrate this thing. And of course, the #1 reason why I prefer it is you can record proxies wirelessly, which is the #1 reason why I prefer all of my first ACs to use this specific monitor. So how do you record ProRes proxies wirelessly? Let's get into that now. It's all because of this bad boy right here. This is part of the Vaxis Storm Mini 1000 kit, which is a 3,000 feet zero latency wireless video system. Now it's 3,000 feet because I also have this plate extender. So I already did a pretty interesting review on the Vaxis unit, so there'll be a link down below in case you missed that one. Full disclaimer here, if you are a fan of Teradek, you probably want to avoid that video because you are not going to enjoy the things I have to say. And if you saw my video on how to prevent blowing your SDI port, then you already know that the Vaxis 1000 has SDI loop out. And what I do is I loop out to my onboard monitor, which is this Portkeys BM5WR with Komodo control. I've done a full tutorial on this bad boy already as well. Again, I'll be leaving links down in the description below. So having a wireless transmitter with an SDI loop out is the trick to recording proxies wirelessly and effortlessly. So when I hit record on the Komodo, because of the settings I have programmed into the video assist, the SDI is set to trigger record. So that is pretty awesome, and I have yet to come across a client that was not 100% stoked about the ability to record proxies wirelessly alongside the 6K R3D RAW. And the SDI trigger record works with almost all cameras, including the Alexa Mini. It's just a really super nice way to have dailies, and I can bake the LUT right into the proxies, and it's just a really pleasant way to view the footage. I mean, I've said this before, but you know, it's true. You can even take this monitor to lunch with you if you wanted to, and you and the director can preview whatever you shot the first half of the day. It's just an awesome workflow. So one of the most crucial ingredients to making a really nice AC kit is the monitor cage. And I went through quite a few different setups during the evolution of this thing. And this cage right here really seems to be the winner so far. So what happened was I discovered this cage one evening when I was going pretty deep down a rabbit hole on Amazon. So this cage is made by a company called Necessary, I believe is how you pronounce it. And I will leave a kit link to this entire package down in the description below if you want to check out all the individual parts. Because this is honestly one of the best cages I have ever used, and it is pretty dang affordable. Couple key things here. The first one is the rubber handles with rosettes. These are absolutely awesome if your first AC wants to go handheld. Or for a situation like when we were in a car this past summer filming for a pilot. So on that job, Jimmy jumped in the back of the car, and because of the rosettes, in a matter of seconds, the monitor had little kickstands. So they really do come in clutch. Now the second bonus of this cage is that it comes with 4 little base plates and this large vertical cheese plate that mounts directly to the back. And these are crucial for your wireless video receiver and just various QR plates or Arca-Swiss plates or whatever you're wanting to use to attach different accessories. So 2 of the base plates are for the top and bottom of the monitor. And these are crucial because it stops your monitor from wiggling loose within the cage, which happens all the time if your cage only allows you to mount from the bottom. You know, and I've done a few different rigs on this in the past. You know, this base plate that sticks out of the back here, I used to have a little Arca-Swiss QR plate on there, and that's how I would attach the wireless receiver. But now lately what I've been doing, what you can see here, is I have a little small rig quick release that was made specifically for wireless receivers. It's a lot like the same design as what Teradek makes. So that's just a quick release. You know, the little cheese plate lives on the bottom of the receiver, and then it just drops in here like so. And then you just tighten it down. Yeah. So this wasn't always ideal to me because of, you know, it seems, you know, this receiver is quite large and the antennas make it even taller. And maybe it seemed a little odd if it was sitting straight on top of the cage like that. But I don't know, the way that I've been rigging with V-mounts and things, which we'll get into in a minute, I just kind of liked it better this way. But, you know, because of the other fourth base plate that has the vertical cheese plate attached to it, you could easily, you know, throw a little small rig V-mount clamp, like I have this one. I use that with the gimbal, and you could put that directly onto the back, and, you know, you could snap on the Vaxis there, or you could, you know, get rid of this thing, and then this is where it used to live with an Arca-Swiss QR plate. So you can just see instantly how this cage opens up so many options for mounting pretty much any accessory you'd ever want or need. because this monitor just lives inside of this cage, and it's so easy just to drop it in and out of this little Apache case just the way it is. And you'll notice that on the bottom of the cage here, I just mounted a little 1/4-20 to baby pin adapter, and that just lives on there as well, so you can just pop it right out of the case, drop it on the stand, and you're ready to go. Now, the biggest downside to the Blackmagic monitor is that they put their video ports directly on the side of the monitor, and that's kind of not ideal. You know, most professional monitors don't do that. They put them directly sticking out of the back. So because of that, you'll notice that's why I had to get 2 elbow connectors for my SDI in and out. And if you were an HDMI person, you would have to do the same, because the way this cage is constructed, and most monitor cages, to be quite honest, they are made like that, where you don't get a whole lot of room on the sides. And that's, you know, I was talking to a Union First AC actually on a job I was the gaffer on, and they were using this cage and monitor setup, and he was saying like, yeah, that, you know, because I asked him, because he was really commenting on how well he liked the cage. He really thought the cage was cool, but you know, he was like talking trash about the monitor, and that was one of the reasons why. Is like, you know, most monitors don't stick out the side like that. They put the ports on the back, so that is one of the downsides of the video assist. But you know, elbow connectors is a pretty simple fix. But I guess that is an add-on purchase, you know. So when it comes to power, there's a couple different options. You know, I have this small rig V-mount plate. It's so slim and tiny. I actually use it with my DJI RS2, and I just snap a little nano V-mount on there, and that's how I power everything when I'm going gimbal. So, you know, you could just attach this to the large vertical cheese plate back here, which I've done, and then you can put a big old fatty V-mount on there, which, you know, I have a few of these back when Autorama used to sell these. I don't believe these are available anymore. This is like a 200 watt-hour V-mount battery from Autorama, Green Extreme. I don't know. I'll see if they have any other versions of this, but you know, you can easily power both the monitor and the wireless receiver off of this for about a pretty decent long amount of time. I'd say easily about 6 hours at least. Or something else you could do is you could rock 2 of these little tiny nano V-mount batteries on each device. So that's what this little guy right here is for. So as you'll see right here, the Vaxis receiver already has a V-mount plate built into the back of it. And then for the monitor, you can use this awesome little Sony MPF dummy to V-mount adapter, and this is made by a company called FXL Ion. Again, there's a link down below if you want to check all this stuff out for your own research. And this company, I mean, this FXL Ion, they also make these little baby V-mounts. They're just a really cool company. And the batteries come with a lot of cool, nice options on here. You have the old USB 3, you have the new USB, you have micro USB, you have a D-tap. They're rad little batteries. They have a really nice OLED readout display of the percentage and all of that. And I actually own 2 of their Sony MPF to V-mount adapters because I use the other one on this monitor right here. Now, this is what I use for my director's monitor, and it actually works out great because of its size to even be used as a portable handheld monitor station as well for the director. It is made by a company called Lilliput, and it is a 10-inch monitor. It's only $350, and with one 98 watt-hour nano V-mount battery, this thing will last an entire 12-hour day. So that is pretty impressive. The only downside is it's not a super bright monitor, so when you're filming outdoors, you will want to use this little Velcro shade that it comes with. But for all other occasions, it's actually pretty nice, and your director will really appreciate the size because it is a tad over 10 inches. It just is a really nice little solution, especially when you're running around outdoors. And it does have a few scopes as well, like false color and focus peaking, and even has the option to calibrate it. It also has both dual SDI and HDMI ports, and you know, I've been pretty impressed with it for what it is and what it costs. And since my Vaxis unit is a 2-to-1, this plate receiver is what connects directly to the Lilliput. But since both this plate and monitor are fairly large, I just usually have them on a little cart, and since they're both running off a V-mount, it's really easy to just wheel it around set. And then for follow focus, I just use the Tilta Nucleus M. I mean, I know it's not the most preferred and high-end professional sets. I know a lot of guys, they'd rather use a Preston or something like that. But for someone like us on our kind of shoots, you know, it's pretty decent for what it is. And I actually know a lot of guys that use that unit, even Union First ACs. surprisingly enough. You know, and I mean, it even comes in handy for when I'm in the lab here, you know, it's just like, yeah, you know, it's awesome. And if you even have the little nucleus nano, you know, you can use the little baby wheel with this, or use the nano wheel with the big motor, and vice versa, and all of that. So it actually is pretty decent. It's probably the only thing made by Tilta that I actually enjoy and still own. And then you gotta have treats. So this right here is the Robo Cup. So what you can do with this is just cling it on to, you know, your stand. I usually keep this on my camera cart. Most of the sound guys and first ACs that I know, second ACs, almost everybody I know has this on set, you know, because you gotta keep track of your water bottle, and you can drop your little treats from Crafty in here. It just comes in handy dropping anything in here, little pencils or anything. But I want to point out that these little bottom pieces, they do pop out fairly easily. I lost both of mine, so now I've had to use gaff tape to secure those. So RoboCup, if you're watching, you know, it'd be greatly appreciated to shoot some of those my way. Another little thing for convenience is if you wanted to put a strap on the whole system for when you go handheld, something that makes that easier and convenient is getting these little quick release straps from Peak Design. So those are pretty cool. You can just pop your neck strap on and off when you gotta run around. So yeah, that's my little wireless video village kit right there. You know, I also use this 20-inch Samsung monitor that I've shown way long ago in the past. It's not really ideal, but you know, for the jobs I'm on, it's more than enough. You don't have to go too crazy when you're trying to think about video village. You know, really what it comes down to, in my opinion, is just having a solid way to send a reliable and strong wireless signal, right? And so that really comes down to the wireless video system that you're using. And I am a huge fan of this particular Vaxis kit. However, it was not cheap. I mean, other than my camera and my lenses, this Vaxis kit, the 2-to-1, is definitely one of the largest investments I've ever made. But it is a crucial piece of kit. Again, I've brought it onto jobs where I'm not even a part of the camera department, you know, so you will make your money on it. It's good enough to rent it out, you know, especially in a very high populated area like LA here. So, you know, it is a smart investment in my opinion. You want to get something that's going to deliver zero latency and a strong signal with zero dropouts, zero glitches. So yeah, anyway, this is the entire kit that we've been using. Me and my team, you know, we've been using all of these tools since about June of 2020. So yeah, it's had a pretty good run so far. We've been pretty damn happy with it. But if you want to check out all the shenanigans I get into out here in the LA filmmaking community, then the Dog Times Patreon is the place to be. So I do work full-time as a freelance cinematographer and gaffer right here in Los Angeles, and I do post a weekly video over on the Patreon no matter how many jobs I have going on, and that's because the Dog Times Patreon is where I bring my members on a virtual behind-the-scenes journey. And we have an awesome Discord channel with tons of topics and active members from all over the world, and it's a really solid group of filmmakers at all different levels of their careers. So I encourage you to check that out. I want to personally thank all of my Dog Times Patreon supporters, as well as give a shout out to the members of our Patreon producers tier, Mike Skinner and Fred Parr. I want to thank you for watching the video in its entirety, and for now, that is a wrap. All right. Then show you guys the advancements I've been trying to make in here, soundproofing the studio. I also wanted to show you my Death Wish shirt. Didn't even show you the best part of this. So yeah, this is from Goodfellas, but check out the back. Classic quote. Gotta love your classic quotes. Death Wish.